This is Twit.
Mary Jo Foley, tell us about your Sandstone Beauty.
Yep. So today I posted my 1 week in review of the Surface Laptop 3 based on Intel Core i7. And as I wrote in my review, when I started out reviewing this, I had to buy it myself because I didn't get a review unit. So I bought it and I thought, you know what? It's good. 30-day return. I'll be returning it after about 3 days, probably. Because, I just haven't really been a huge fan of the Surface hardware. I haven't. So when I started using it, I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually not that bad. And then I used it more. And then I started using it on my lap. And then I brought it out in public and used it on my lap. And I'm like, okay, it's good that it's lappable. This is the first Surface I've used that I would consider to get the MJF lappability seal of approval.
Oh, my goodness.
But there's more. And I really like the feel of the keyboard. It took a little getting used to because there's so much room between the bottom of the device and where the keys are. At first, I was like, I have to reach way up to get these keys. But the trackpad's bigger, and it's a precision trackpad. I just have been really liking it, and I was so surprised that I liked it. So yeah, I gave it a thumbs up. There are some things I would like to see them fix and change still. For example, you use the Surface connector to power this thing. Mm-hmm. Why, when it's all powered up, doesn't the light go off or change color or something? Because you don't know when it's done powering up.
Okay.
Like that was one of those things. I'm like, oh wait, why doesn't it
go green or something?
Yeah. Go from red to green.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I also kind of wonder if they couldn't make this a little lighter. And so it weighs 2.8 pounds, but because it's a 3:2 aspect ratio device, I'm guessing what's going on here. The center of gravity maybe is somewhere different than it is in a 16:9 laptop. And so when I put it in my bag, it feels so much heavier than a 16:9 laptop weighing 2.8 pounds.
Interesting.
Why?
It feels so lightweight to me.
Does it?
I can hold it in one hand.
Well, you're coming from a MacBook Pro.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and I'm coming from a 15-inch MacBook Pro as well. So
I bought one of those and returned it because it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put this in my bag and carry it around on my shoulder. And after day one, I'm like, oh, my shoulder's killing me. And I don't usually have that.
So I wanted to, sort of say publicly what I told Mary Jo privately, which is that you have no business reviewing, and please stop. No, which was that. I thought her review was excellent and honest and real. And, Mary Jo will always be very humble about this, and I'm not a reviewer or whatever, but I have to be honest. I find your style of reviewing to be better than most reviews and is more useful, I think, to real people than most reviews, because most reviewers, like tech reviewers these days, like the YouTuber type people, they get 1,000 devices a year. They play with it for 3 days. They never think about it again. And I think we've lost track of the fact that these things cost real money. Mm-hmm. It's a significant investment for anyone who's going to buy something like that. And that there's a responsibility that needs to be, held to. I think your review was great. I thought it was really, really good.
Thanks.
I just have to double down on that because something that I have actively complained about on as often as I can is the lack of empathy in tech journalism as a whole. Yeah. A lot of times we get a little too up in our own little
it's unbelievable.
Heads about things.
It's like I saw there was a guy on Twitter the other day, like, I finally got my Pixel from Google. It's like, oh, well, isn't that nice, princess, for you?
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and so I appreciate anytime someone is focusing on how this device can be used for a real person as opposed to, like you said, the person that gets 1,000 devices, I think is great. So I was genuine when I said I was really looking forward to seeing this review hit. I'm glad it's here.
Thanks. It was funny. Yesterday I'm like, I should get some photos, right? So I brought it down to a little local craft beer place near me called City Beer. And I'm sitting there using it. And then I said to the bartender, hey, could you take a picture of me using this laptop on my lap? And he's like, okay. I'm like, it's a long story. And I told him the whole story over a beer. And he was like, okay.
Was it a tasty beer?
It was, of course, an IPA.
Was it sandstone colored?
You know what's funny? So the counters in there are kind of a weird marbled color, and I'm like, I wonder how it's going to look with the beautiful. So the color of this laptop, by the way, if you haven't seen one of them, it's beautiful. Like nice. People say to me, "Wow, what is that?" You know, it's really, really a nice looking machine.
Yeah, in fact, I've been getting the same thing with Elvis here. Folks who've been watching the different shows, because I've been using it on every show but iOS Today where I use my iPad. And they're like, what is that laptop you have? Is there a case on that? What is that? And then folks that have seen it just in the office that are walking by, I really wish that Apple would do some fun colors and things like that, because it's genuinely a beautiful machine. I just looked up Sandstone IPA, and there are a few out there. So there you go. Hunt one of those down.
I'll have to find one.
So is this going to be a machine that you make your machine? I know, again, I keep going back to twit.community, but you posted on there, what's going to be your next laptop. Do you think that the Surface Laptop 3 can be that?
It's one of the finalists for sure. I have one more machine I want to look at that I think I'm going to get to review in about a week or so, and I don't want to be a spoiler about it. So it's in the running, and this is the first, I'll tell you, the first Surface device that I would be like, yep, I'm actually buying it, and I think it's going to be great. I'm actually taking this device to Ignite next week and making it my PC that I'm bringing. So
I mean, I've always,
you liked the laptop way more than me.
Yeah. I like the Surface Laptop a lot. I always have. And Surface Book too, as well. Fantastic. And I'll be using a Surface Pro 7 at Ignite. Hopefully the battery lasts based on my experience so far. That might be tight. But and of course the portability of that particular machine is fantastic. But yeah, I'd prefer the bigger screen. I mean, I think a 13.5 inch 3x2 display kind of cuts a neat middle ground between a 13, which I find to be a little small, and a 14, which is usually pretty ideal at 16:9. So to me, it's like just right. Like it's like the Goldilocks laptop,
Oh yes.
Wow. Nice.
Yep. Not too suede, not too
right.
It's just right. Yeah. Oh, I was actually going to ask which device you were bringing, so you answered that question for me.
Micah, so are you going to write a review or do a verbal review or anything? Because you know what I think would be great is somebody who's a Mac user full-time reviewing this.
Yeah, so I actually, one of the shows that we do, Hands on Tech, it's a video review show. And so I'm planning on talking all about this device on there. And so while we're at it, there have been a few things that have happened that I am curious about. It starts with Chrome on this laptop. By the way, I downloaded Credge, but I have not yet used it because I like the syncing features that are available in Chrome. But anyway, do you folks run into issues? I know you use OneNote for this, but do you use any Google Drive products like Google Docs, Google Sheets and everything? Yeah. I keep having an issue where, because we do almost everything in Google Sheets, and I will launch, I'll wake the machine or whatever, and my whole screen or the whole app will just freeze. Like Chrome just freezes. And it won't let me click into the Google Sheets document.
Interesting.
And it after a little bit of processing or something, after a little bit of loading, then it starts finally. But that's happened to me several times now, and I'm curious, do you think I should try using Credge with Google Drive stuff, or is Chrome the best way to go?
There's no reason not to.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In that its ability to render the pages and everything will be identical. I've not experienced the problem you're having. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I did just do a bunch of updates, so maybe it's fixed.
Yeah.